building an integrated online marketing plan. So first, we've looked at what a narrative is, and it's a story that communicates how a customer will perceive the company, the experience that they will have in their lifetime in dealing with that brand. Let's look at how to develop a narrative that is specific to your company. First, I want to show you some examples. You see, in building a narrative, we can also look at other brands, and specifically, let's look at the insurance industry. There's a lot of advertising, there's a lot of marketing in the insurance industry, and I find that these examples help people understand a little more clearly a narrative. You see, when we look at all of the marketing and advertising that a company like Progressive does, what they offer is the rates of other companies, including themselves, and they let people make the choice. You see, Progressive wants to be perceived as the voice of reason, that we're going to give you all of the information available and we'll guide you, but you ultimately make the choice. But we are the voice of reason. We have provided you all the facts and information you need to make an informed decision. If you look at the advertising and marketing for State Farm wants to be there when you need them. A lot of their advertising shows people on the phone crying as if they just broke up with a boyfriend or girlfriend and chose a less expensive insurance company, and they're regretting it, and they want to get back together. So State Farm has that relationship aspect that they really push in their marketing. Geico has numerous characters that people love and laugh about. Geico is really the entertainer of the industry. Allstate sells with an element of fear. What if? Are you prepared? Do you have enough? Allstate asks critical questions that make you think twice about your life and your coverage. And when you look at the characters that each of these companies use, so Allstate also uses a character that played the president in the series 24. That's who he's most closely associated with. So he has a little bit of authority, but also questioning, have you made the right decisions? Geico uses numerous characters, pigs, lizards, cavemen, all kinds of different characters there to communicate fun and enjoyment. Progressive uses Flo, who gives you the information that you need. Now, what's interesting is all of these characters have more followers on Facebook than the actual companies themselves. The Geico Gecko has numerous, in fact, about 10 times more followers on his Facebook page than the company Geico, which he represents, has followers on their Facebook page. The characters are more popular than the companies, and that's because the narrative, the story, resonates more with people than the actual company does. And so let's use that to develop a narrative. The first question is, what is your company's unique message? What value proposition do you bring to the market that is different than everybody else's? Do you have better information? Do you have better service? What distinguishes your approach to the market from all of your competitors? You see, your narrative has to communicate the difference that you bring, your value, how you perceive customers differently than your competitors, and what they will receive in working with you. So that's the first part, is that unique difference that you bring. Then, in 3 sentences or less, answer who you are, what you bring, and why customers should do business with you. We call that the elevator pitch. Very quickly, when someone asks what you do, you give them the who, what, and why in 3 sentences or less. After you have developed those 3 sentences or less, the who, what, and why of your company, now bring it down into 1 sentence. And this is where I like to know just the facts, distill it into 1 sentence. What does your company do? And maybe I should add, what does your company do for me? What value do you provide for me as a customer? And then break that sentence down into an internet sentence. That means in 5 to 8 words, can you describe what your company does? Not just one long sentence, but an internet sentence. Something that someone can scan in just a few words and understand what your company's all about. So do this exercise to refine your message and to create a clear narrative for your company. So develop your narrative, 8 words or less. I think 5 to 8 words is a good target. Make sure that you then stand back and does this narrative show that you know who you are, that you know who your company is? Next, go back to your resource assessment. Go back and look at all the channels that you communicate to people through: pay-per-click, search marketing, email, social media. Does your marketing and advertising reflect that narrative? You see, if it doesn't, that means your organizational communication is across the board and you're not providing a consistent message to your market. So measure all of your marketing according to your narrative. Does it present a consistent message? Because if it doesn't, then your customers are not having a clear customer experience with your brand. And that's up to you to clarify and develop throughout all of your marketing.